Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day?
Okay.
Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepared for more.
But if you look at any polls, according to CSIS, political violence overwhelmingly comes from the right.
I believe you've seen the two videos. Nancy Pelosi was confronted. She was extremely angry. You can see the two videos. The second clip was leaked a few months ago where she accepted, like, oh, I take responsibility for not sending the National Guard. Now, Nancy Pelosi is getting angry when questions like this are raised. They should tell you alone. When you take a look at this video.
But if you look at any polls, according to CSIS, political violence overwhelmingly comes from the right. These messages come from the right. And when it comes to the leaked text messages that came out 24 hours ago, I don't think it's fair to say there's an undercurrent just on the left. I know what you mean, but there's also an undercurrent on the right. There is something deep and dark boiling inside the GOP.
The study you just cited didn't include things like, you know, the Tesla attacks that were against Elon Musk and Tesla.
The study shows violence comes disproportionately from the right. The Tesla attacks were not lethal. We can point to the El Paso supermarket.
I let you talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow. All right. So there's a whole bunch.
I tried to debunk my study, so.
Is it your study? Did you do it?
I did not do it. But keep
What is your point, sir?
My point is that time and time again, whether it's the Aaron Burnett on CNN, God bless her, she tried to quote the same study. They didn't include a lot of what we would consider left-wing violence in that study, okay? First of all. Second of all, my dear friend was just killed by left-wing violence. There's been how many ICE facilities that have been targeted? And when you look at what's happening right now, I agree with you on the radicalization, but you have to be honest about the fact that you even admitted, well, this year it's progressives. Well, what about George Floyd? What about that whole summer of looting and rioting? Listen, there has been a trend of, I think, let's just say, let's be gracious and say, in the era of Trump, maybe it's a reaction to Trump. I'm open to those discussions, but there is a justification for political shows up in every poll, and it's coming from progressives.
Yes, the reason the left keep repeating the same lies over and over is for something called the illusory truth effect. Certain people have a tendency to believe misinfo is right after repeated exposure to the false information. What this guy is doing, you can clearly see he works with, I don't know, it's media touch or what exactly. These are the same talking point they spew every day. So I'm not even surprised. John Fetterman on this same show said something, and when you take a look at this, how Democrat critic I-2028 John Fetterman Questa, they want to remove John Fetterman for saying this.
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump. But they are not fascists. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution, those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people fascists, or I would never compare anybody and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and doing all these kinds of things. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve. Give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing, make my argument and try to put out my views. It's like, my God, you know, he's a father that had his neck, and now people have forgotten. President Trump was in my state, and if that would have, could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way? We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now, shutting down the government.
It's a mighty battle going on. It's not about winning or losing. It's about being in touch with your own personal humanity, because there's such a lack of it coming from this administration. And I'm convinced of this, that when you look at this group of people at the round table in the White House, the cabinet room, every one of those people look across the table and they do not see anyone who is better than they are. They generally see a reflection of their worth selves. So there's no heroes in there. There's no music, there's no laughter, there's no self-effacement, there's no joy in that room. It smells of ego and fear and false worship. When we realize and this, I'm going on and on. And you look in that room, and there's a young man named Robert Francis Kennedy, Jr. His father sat in that room in the ex-con committee in October 1962, during the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he literally, with his brother John.
There is something impressive about what this Fetterman is doing. And Democrats are already on their way to remove him. Reason being that he is standing on their way on certain issues, especially talking about good things Trump has done. When Trump made that deal, he was the first person to rush and thank Trump for what he did. And Democrats don't like that. The one only people that disagree in everything with Trump, I really don't believe that politics should be in this way. Yeah, it's crazy. You should be able to sit down with people you disagree with. A lot of these people on this table, they disagree with John Fetterman, a lot of things. And they can be able to sit and have debate like this. Impressive. Now, taking a look at this Hollywood actor going off on Trump every single time, to me, is ridiculous. This is not the first time he's doing this. I think I put out a video a few weeks ago about this same thing he did. Crazy to me at a certain point. I will not prolong the videos. I just want to end here. And I want to appreciate people that are supporting me every single day. You know, we are on our way to reach 100,000 subscribers. It's a hard journey, but we keep pushing. Please, always share the videos. As of the short clips you see at the end of this video for the YT algorithm.
Is that holding session is because Donald Trump wants to screw up Obama's legacy. This is all about Donald Trump being the small, petty man that he is, and he doesn't want
today, and I want to give him credit for it.
Sequential moments in history.
When I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, it's not changing a tune. It's not making every single thing a 5-alarm fire. Yeah. If he does hostage that, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show. He even gets an auditor counting on me.
If the Democrats shut down the government, Donald Trump takes advantage of the situation and begins to, I don't know, trim programs Democrats care about.
Because how many times somebody asks
for?
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama
is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC. I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Well,
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not all the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with what Gavin Newsom said, that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle, he's not wrong.
I think that what she has done, Mom, Trump won. Trump's going to win. Strongly should be. Should
what do you
physically...
disagree with out of interest? Boyfriend for not knowing her angles.